Is my screen is visible to everyone?
Yes, please.
Hello. Yeah. Okay. Done. Okay. Fine. Yeah. So in this today's class, thanks for joining the session. And most of our students gave the confirmation, 11 students for the given confirmation for the weekday batch from Monday to Friday. So this is the
Okay.
weekend batch. And no problem. Let me start straight away. We'll start with the session. So
Sure.
first, in order to the first step we'll be starting with, I will explain you how to download the Power BI desktop into your system. Okay. So in the real time, there will be two steps. There is the two process where you can download the Power BI desktop into your system. So the first process is if you have the Microsoft Store in your system. Okay, type as Microsoft Store. Yeah, Microsoft Store in the Windows in the search button. And if you click on Microsoft Store, so you will get this type of interface over here. Like, so let me drag this. So search apps, games, movies, and more. So in that, type it as Power. So Power BI Desktop, it will appear. You can click over here. And once you click already, Power BI Desktop is installed in my system. So that's why it is showing me as an open. But for you, like if the Power BI Desktop is not installed in your system, instead of open, it will show the option as download. Okay. In that way, we can download the Power BI Desktop in your system. So there is another way. This is through Microsoft Store. And there is another way you can install the Power BI Desktop in your system. So you can come to Google over here. Then you can type it as Power BI Desktop download. Okay. Once you click on Power BI Desktop download, so it will show the option download Microsoft Power BI Desktop from official. So you can click over here. So once you click over that, so it will show you Microsoft Power BI Desktop and it will show you option as select language. So by default, the language is selected as English. So if for you, if the language appears is other than English, if it is appears on anything, so you need to click as an English. Now you can, after that, you can click on download option. Once you click on the download, it will show you choose the download you want. It will show Power BI Desktop Setup x64.exe and Power BI Desktop Setup.exe. So these are the two options will be visible for you. So you need to select the first one. Okay, Power BI Desktop underscore x64exe. Then you need to click on download. Once you click on the download, so automatically the Power BI Desktop will be downloaded. So it will be start downloading and it will be downloaded into your download section. So it will take some time. It will take based upon your network connectivity. It will take 1 or 2 minutes. So let us wait. Okay. So this is the process that I have explained. Like I'm explaining how you can download the Power BI Desktop from the Google browser. And the first process I have explained, like you go to the Windows, in the Windows, you can go to the Microsoft Store. From there, you can click on Power BI Desktop and you can download. So these are the usually two ways you follow for installing the Power BI Desktop. So what is the difference? I will explain you. Let this Power BI Desktop be downloaded. So usually, and one more thing, at least the some people are asking the configuration for Power BI Desktop, like to work or to install on Power BI Desktop. So at least if you have 8 GB in your system, it is well and good. Okay, almost it may consume about 2 GB, and if you install SQL Server, it will take 2 GB. So if it is 8 GB, it is well and good that you can work on the Power BI Desktop. Like you can install the Power BI Desktop and you can connect with the data and we can transform the data in the Power BI desktop. See, once the Power BI desktop you have downloaded, so in the download section, it will open like this Power BI desktop setup. Then you need to click on open file. Okay. See, once you click on open file, for me already Power BI desktop is installed. So it is showing the retry or ignore because already Power BI desktop is installed. So it is like a simple option. So for you, if you click on this, you need to click on finish, or otherwise you need to click on next, next and next. So at least until the Power BI desktop is downloaded, you need to click on either it will show next or 2 or 3 times. At the end, it will show the finish and the Power BI desktop will be downloaded into your system. So for me, it is not showing because already I have installed my Power BI desktop in your system, right? So I cannot reinstall here. Okay. Same once download, click on when you open the file, it will show you option next, how you install some apps. Okay. In the same way, how you install some games. In the same way, you need to click on the next, next, next. And once after that, in the final step, they will ask you to click on the finish. So click on the finish and wait for 1 or 2 minutes or 50 seconds. Then Power BI desktop will be installed your system. Now you can ask a simple question to me, sir, how I can confirm that the Power BI desktop is installed into my system. So the simple way is after you install the Power BI desktop in the system, I am canceling this because already I have Power BI desktop installed. So once you download, once you follow the process that I have mentioned, so you need to click on this search button and try to click on Power BI desktop, just Power BI. See this Power BI desktop. You need to click on over here. So once you click over here, the Power BI desktop will be open. This type of the interface will be open to you. Okay. Now, once this type of interface will be open, in the next step, you need to open the Power BI desktop, right? So in that, you need to click on this blank report. Once you click on this blank report, the Power BI desktop interface will be open to you. So once I click on Power BI desktop, let me click on Power BI desktop. So once you click on the Power BI desktop, this is the user interface that will be visible to you. This is called as Power BI desktop, which we call it as developmental software. This Power BI desktop is called as developmental software. Reason being, this is the area of the Power BI desktop where you will build your reports or where you will create your reports. Okay. And in the first class, as this is new, first you need to understand how this Power BI desktop interface looks and how you can connect to the data. So in the first class, let's see how we can connect to some Excel sheet and how we can connect to some SQL Server, different data sources. So those type of introduction I will give you. And one more thing, you may ask a simple question, sir, you have explained two types of the process where we can download the Power BI desktop from this Microsoft Store system. Just you can click on here and click on Power BI desktop. You can download. That is the first process. And second process, we can download the Power BI desktop from another process called as Google. So what is the difference that you find? So this is the important certification question. When you download the Power BI desktop from this Microsoft Store system, if the Microsoft Store system is there, if you download by this process, there this type of the standard process I request everyone, because month by month, in every month, what the Microsoft is doing, it is adding some type of innovations or some type of features to the Power BI desktop. Okay. So suppose we are in July. In the next month, suppose the Power BI, like Microsoft will add some any small options, one or two new options which are added to the Power BI desktop interface. Automatically, that will be detected when you download the Power BI desktop from this Microsoft Store system. Okay. So if in the next month, suppose automatically some new feature is added, or some new visual is added, or some type in the Power Query some new options are added, so automatically it will be detected when you download the Power BI desktop through this Microsoft Store system. But if you download your Power BI desktop through, suppose you click on the Microsoft Power BI desktop download from the Google browser, I have explained, right? If you follow this process, okay, so the updates, what happened, like what are the Power BI desktop updates are there to the till date, suppose in July 2016, those updates will be only there in the Power BI desktop what we have downloaded. Okay, those updates will only reflected in the Power BI desktop. Suppose if you download by the Google, suppose in the next month, suppose in the July, August, if any new features are added, those new features will be not captured in the Power BI desktop. Then how? Then what is the solution for that? You need to uninstall this Power BI desktop, and in the August again you need to go to the Google and reinstall the Power BI desktop, the simple process that I have explained you. Okay, so that if any new updates happen in the next month, that will be captured in your Power BI desktop. But for my suggestion is, if you have an option to download that Microsoft storage system, try to download through this, because there is no need to reinstall your Power BI desktop month by month. Automatically any new features will be detected in your Power BI desktop. Okay, if you don't have Microsoft store system, or if you are using if you are downloading through the Google, so try to end of the month, try to uninstall and reinstall your Power BI desktop. So this is a certification questions. So what are the two process that you follow for installing a Power BI desktop, and what is the two differences that you can notify when you download the Microsoft system through Microsoft store system, and when you download through the normal Google. Okay, so and I will share the video of how to download. You can follow the steps that I have explained you, and I will share the video on that, so that because when you come to the next class, I expect everyone that Power BI desktop should be installed in your system. Okay, that is my expectation.
Okay.
Now,
Also,
yeah,
sorry to interrupt, Janardhan. So
yeah,
once I download through it, it is showing choose the version of BA you want to use. One is
yeah,
saying BA, then operated by Vianet in China. It is showing something.
yeah. Just I have you have joined in the before. Like, can you show your share your screen?
That's what I'm trying because I tried logging into system not to check the time. So I'm right now I'm connecting to the system. So that's the main thing. Give me 2 minutes so that you can explain so that I will try to share it in between
Okay,
to
okay,
connect to
sure.
the lab some system also.
Yeah, okay, fine. So you can see, I will explain the process. See, when you suppose I
Definitely.
can come from, see, suppose this is a Google.
Mm,
Suppose Microsoft Power BI desktop download. So Power BI desktop download, I will click Power BI desktop download. Just I am clicking on this. Click on enter. Okay. Now you need to come to this download
mm,
Microsoft Power BI desktop from. Just click this. Once you click this, automatically it will show this, select the language. If it is English,
mm,
well and good. If it is not English, try to change it to the English. Now go and click on download. Once you click on download, it will show these two. Okay, Power BI Desktop Setup underscore x64 exe, or this one. But you need to select this 796.3 MB Power BI Desktop Setup underscore x64. Then you need to select this. Once you select this, see automatically this is selected over here. Now you need to click on download. Once you click on download, see Power BI Desktop System Setup is being installed. Okay, it is installing over here. So once the installation is completed, just you need to click on open file and open, click on next, and final option you will get finish, and Power BI Desktop will be installed in your system. That is a simple, like this is how you can install one app or something in your mobile. Just you can click on, once it is completed, you need to open the file. It will show next option, like you need to click two or three times, it will come as next button. So final option you will get as finish. Once you click on finish, the Power BI Desktop will be installed to your system. But for me, why it is not coming, because already I have installed Power BI Desktop is system, right? So we cannot reinstall that process. That is the reason
mm.
it is not coming. Okay,
True.
so better you follow the same process. Once you appear over here, right, that installation process, when you go to the download, next downloading that is not a big deal. Just you can come here and you can click on this Power BI desktop system, and it will be automatically downloaded. See, setup it is here. You can open this also, and you can click on the next button, and final button you will getting the finish button. So automatically the Power BI desktop setup system will be installed in your system. Okay, but most of the people might not be having this Microsoft Store. So if the Microsoft Store system is there in some new laptop, like if you purchase a new laptop, if the Microsoft Store is there, you would directly you come to the Microsoft Store system. Once you open Microsoft system, this type of interface will be open, the search button. In the search button, you can click on Power BI Desktop. See, once you click on Power BI Desktop, for me it is showing as open. Reason being, I have already installed the Power BI Desktop. Okay, that's why it is showing me as open. So as if you are a first time user, if you don't have Power BI Desktop in your system, instead of open, it will show as download. You can click on the download and automatically the Power BI Desktop will be installed in your system. Okay, so this is a two-step process. And after the class, try to download. If you encounter any issues, that we can connect so that the once the Power BI because why I am saying everyone in the first class, if you're able to download, so if I give some assignments or any practice source file so that you can connect the source files accordingly, you can practice in the same day so that it will be easy for you. Okay, so don't like most people will make the mistake. They will listen the classes for 4 or 5 classes and they will try to install. Sir, I'm getting the doubt for installing Power BI Desktop after 7 or 8 days. So that is not a good practice because first day this your duty is to download your Power BI Desktop into your system. Then it will the next process will become easy for you.
Definitely.
Now, if once the Power BI Desktop is installed in your system, suppose if you work on any tool, the first step you need to understand total interface of that tool. So each and every options and what are the menu based options are there and what is the use of each and every option. So that is the first step. Okay. See, when you open the Power BI Desktop, you will be having three views. Okay. The first one, this is called as home view. Okay. And what is the use of Power BI Desktop? Power BI Desktop is used to connect with any data. Suppose the data is stored in some Excel, we'll connect to the data. From that, you will create the visuals, and these visuals you will share it to the client. From the visuals, you will create the report and you will share it to the client. This is a very simple process as a Power BI developer. So you can connect. So in the from the Power BI Desktop, there is an option called as this. This is called as get data. This option, where you can connect to the different data sources. You can connect to Excel, data flows, Dataverse, SQL Server, text. You can connect to some internet link, web that Wikipedia link, or when you click on more, you can connect to lot of the things like PDFs. You can connect to JSON file, text file, IBM, SAP HANA database, Snowflake, all type of the different type because Power BI will support almost all the data sources. What is meant by the data sources? Data sources is nothing but the place where organization will store their business information. Suppose some organizations are smaller organization, they'll store in Excel. So some organizations are big. If there is lot of transactions will takes place, because they will store the data in some database. That means the SQL server. So SQL service is also called as data source. So that data sources, the Power BI, with the help of from here, you can connect to the data sources. And if you install Power BI Desktop for first time, so this is the interface will be open to you. So import data from Excel, it will show. That what is meant by import data from Excel? If you click on here, import means getting the data from outside. That is called as import, nothing but extracting the data. So if you click here, you can connect to the Excel file, which may be stored in your desktop or which may be present in your downloads. Anyone, if you click here, you can connect to the Excel file. Okay. Next one, SQL Server. There is an option called a SQL Server. If you click on this, if the client is storing their data in the SQL Server, okay, how you can connect to the SQL Server? See, you can open this, and to connect to the SQL Server, the any client, suppose you are working for Amazon client, in order to connect to their SQL server, he will give their credential. That means database credential, user ID and password. So by giving the user ID and password, those are called as credential. With the help of that credential, you can connect to their database. You can and you can connect and you can work on the data. So that is called as SQL server. And there is a third option called as paste data into blank table. What is meant by paste data in the blank table? Suppose if you are working on some data which is very manual. Suppose I don't want to connect to the database. I want to prepare a manual table, a table manually. So I want how many students are attended. So which batch they are interested. So suppose weekend I have weekday batch. So 95%, 95% there some people are showing on weekday. Okay, but there are few people they are showing interest on weekend. Okay, I want to prepare small Excel sheet. So if I want prepare that manually, so that I can click on this paste data into blank table, so that I can create a manual table and I can load into Power BI desktop. So for that purpose you can click on this. And this fourth one, for the import data from Excel, SQL Server, page, these three operation you can directly you can do from here also. You can connect to Excel, you can connect to the SQL Server. So I'm not explaining this because there's a two-way process, but this is very important. Use sample data. What is meant by use sample data? So Microsoft, what it has given, it has provided some sample data for you inside the Power BI desktop. You can connect with the data and you can create some reports. Okay. For if you want to connect the sample data, which is provided by Power BI like Microsoft, you can click on this use sample data. Now let us see how what is the sample data. Just I am clicking on this use sample data and let us see what is the sample data that is provided by Microsoft. So I'm clicking on use sample data. Once you click on this use sample data, it will show load sample data. So that means the data is loaded inside the Power BI desktop, which is there inside the desktop. Now I want to load the data into this Power BI desktop. So for that, you need to click on load sample data. See, once you click on load sample data, so the data is being connected. So it will taking some time, right? So what is the tables it has? It has two tables, financials and sheet one. So I want to load this data. Okay. I want to load this data into Power BI desktop. Load means I want to connect to the data. How I can connect? See, these tables are visible, right? You need to click on this check button. Once you click on the check button, so previously if you uncheck this section, we call, see if I uncheck, if you click on this check button, so it will show the preview. So what type of the information which is present inside that table, the financial table, that will be present over here. It is converted information to segment, country, some product information, how many units are sold, what is their price, what is their sales price, what is gross sales, how much discount they have given, what is total sales. COG means what is the cost of goods sales, what is profit. Okay, those type of information is there. By looking at, you can say this is information related to the sales and they are speaking about the financials. Okay, so you can see the data. Now you have seen the data. Now you want to load the data, right? Which is there in the Power BI desktop, which is given stored inside. We need to bring that into Power BI desktop, right? So that you can work on the data. So in order to load the data, you have an option called as load option. So when you click on this load, now the data will come into your Power BI desktop. See, I am clicking on load. When you click on load, see, it is loading. The data is loading. Based upon the data size, it will take some. It is consisting of 700 rows. That means it is very simple table, simple, only few columns. It will be loaded in within seconds. But in the real time, if your database is very long, suppose if you connect to some SQL server, if you have some millions of rows, it will take some time, at least 1 minute to connect to the data. It depends upon the file size. It depends upon how efficiently the client is maintaining their database. Okay. Now you have loaded the data you got. Now you might ask a simple question, sir, I have loaded the data. How I can see, how I can confirm that the data is loaded into Power BI desktop. So you can come to this section called as data section. Whatever the data, this see, you can see here this data section. Whatever the data that you have loaded, those data will be present in this data section. Okay. See the financial table which we loaded, it will appear here. Now you may ask me, sir, this is the table. I want to see what are the different type of the columns are there in this table. So how you can see, there is an option called as this expand button. Once you expand, see this financial table contains these columns. COGSly country, date, gross sales, month name, product, profit, sales, segment. So these are the columns which are present in that table is the financial table, and these are the columns which are present in the table. Now you can ask me a simple question, sir, you have shown me the table and the columns. I want to see what is the data which is stored inside these columns. So if you want to see what type of the data which is stored inside that inside these columns, you need to come here and click on, there is one section called as table view. Okay, the table view. So these data whatever is stored will be shown in the form of table. So I am going to the table view. Come to the table view and open. If you click on anything, only one table is there. You can see the COGSC, whatever the tables which are there, all these tables data which is there, it will be present over here. You can see the data over a country, product, discount. See here country, this country information, this segment. If you click on anything, column that will be highlighted, segment information. COGS means COGS, those type of the data. This is the data present. If you click on this country column, that column will be highlighted. So this is the data which is present. So if you want to see that which table loaded, how if you want to confirm where the data is loaded, it will be loaded in the data section. And those data, if you want to see what is the data present over here, you need to come to this table view and you can manually see the data. Okay. Before that, and if you want to see, if you go to this one report view, you will go to the normal view called Power BI desktop. Now second, now let us understand the interface. This section we call it as data section. Okay. If you come one step to the left, this is they are calling it as data section, or simply they are calling it as data pane. Okay, data pane. Now when you come one step to the left, there is one options which are there. There is one pane they are calling as pane pane. This pane we call it as visualization pane. Okay, this is the area called as visualization pane. What you will do by utilizing this data which is present in this data section, and with the help of these visuals which are present in the visualization pane, we will create the reports in this central part. So this is the central part, right? The empty space, this central part is there. In this central part, you will create the visual. So this central part, we call it as report canvas. This central part, we call it as report canvas. For everything that I have written, I will share you the notes, but you just, you can see the central one, this part we call it as report canvas. Okay. See here you show these visuals in the initially once you show the report canvas, see select or drag the fields from data pane. You need to drag reels from data pane into the report canvas. From here you can drag over here. See, you will connect to the data. From this data you will drag here and you will create the visuals. So this is the central part. We call it as report canvas where you build the visuals. So in order to build the visuals, you select the data from data pane and you select the visuals from the visual pane and you will try to create the report. So let us see one simple example. Okay. So if you want to create suppose you have segment and segment my sales I want. Okay. Different segments are there and I want to know how much each segment is performing. So you can see here when I go to the segment, see this is a segment, right? How many segments are there? Government, channel partners, enterprise, government, mid market, small business. That means 1, 2, 3, 5 segments are there. Okay, segments and sales. This is the sales. So my requirement is I want to find, see how much government is performing, how much channel enterprise. If I select on channel enterprise, this channel enterprise, so what is the total sales? If I add this total sales, I need to get what is the sale of this channel partners and what is the sale of each segment I want to represent in some table or I want to represent in my pie chart. That is my requirement. So how you will do? Very simple. Suppose, so if you apply filter, if you want to apply the filter, you can filter. If you click on clear all filters, whatever the filters that will be up, you have made it totally, it will be clear. Now let us go to my, what is my requirement? I want how much each segment is making the sales. That is my requirement. So how you can go, let us go to the report view. So I said in the report, this is the area you can build the reports by using this data from the data pane and visuals from the visual pane. I will try to create the report. So I want a pie chart, right? If you want a pie chart, just select the pie chart over here. So you will get the pie chart. Now to this chart, just you drag the data, you will get the visuals. What is my requirement? Okay, I want segment by sales, right? So you can select the segment. Automatically the segment will come in the legend. I want sales, segment by sales, right? You can select the sales. See how much each segment is saying, it is showing that. See government house. So if you want to see the data labels, if you want to add data labels already on, and if you want to, so this is the central area, we call it as report. If you want to add the border, if you want to add the border to, see border is not there. Now if you want to add the border, how you can add the border? If you want to add the border to with this visual, right? First you need to select on that visual. And to add the border, first you need to format the visual, right? So in order to format the visual, you need to go to this section called as this format your visual so that you can make some changes in the visual. What is the change? You want to add some border. Go to the format visual. In the format visual, once you click on the format visual, two options will be appear for you. What first option is called as visual, second option is called general. This visual, when you click on this visual, these options will be specific to the visual that you select. If you select the pie chart, these 5 options will come for you. But if you select some table visual, these options will change. If I select some bar chart, the options will be different for the bar chart. If I select funnel chart, this option will be different. That means these options which are there in the visualization section will be specific for the chart that you select. But there is in the format visual, there is another option called as general. For this general, if you take pie chart, bar chart, donor chart, any chart, this visual, these options will be constant. Okay. So for any visual, I want to add the border. So the effect one I want to add. What is the effect? I want to add a effect which is the border is not there. I want to add the effect border. Select this, what I've said, go to format visual same. I don't want visual add the border, right? I will, you need to go to the general section. So this will be same for all the visuals. So you need to add effect border, right? So you click on effects. In the effects, there is an option called as visual border. By default, for any visual, it will be initially, it will be in off. If you create any chart, if you click on, you will get the border for this visual. So by using this visual, and dragging the data into the visual, you will create the reports or you create the visuals in this center report. This report, this area, we call it as report canvas. Now, if I want this into, I want this pie chart to convert into some bar chart. Don't go and select the bar chart again. Just select the visual, Control C, okay, and click on Control V. A new visual will be created, okay. Now, what you will do, if you want this pie chart to be converted into donut chart, just select the visual, click on this donut chart. Automatically, this chart will be converted into donut chart. See, it will be automatically converted into donut chart. Now, if you want this chart to be converted into some bar chart, what you will do, select this visual, Control C, click on Control V. Once you click on Control V, again new visual will be created. Okay. Now I don't want this sit in this donut chart. I want represent in this bar chart, column chart. Just select it. See, column chart will be created. So if you want to this not column chart, clustered bar chart, where you need to find the bars in some horizontal, just select this chart, Control C and Control V. You can select on this chart. It's a cluster bar chart. Now, for every bar chart, I am not getting the values. For the government, it's having 50.52 values, right? Here you are not getting values, right? These values, we call it as data labels. So, but here, the data labels are for every bar. I am not getting the data labels, right? But my requirement is I want to add the data labels for it. How you can add the data labels? You can select this visual, okay? Select this visual, go to format visual, just come down in the format in the visuals only, come down to the last here. There is an option called as data labels. This data labels is off. Just you click on. See, it will show it is 53 million, 42 million, 50 million like this. Now same you need to come over here. Again same, this visual data labels it is off. Click on. The data labels will on. So this is the general how you create. Why I have explained I created this visual because so this is the central area. So if this is the area, the central one we call it as report canvas where you can build the visuals. Okay, to show you this is a report canvas. So you can adjust the visual. You can select. You can come to the corners and you can adjust the size of the visuals. So those power view, we will be discussing it in this how to create the visuals. You will be discussing in the third section, like power view. So after completing 20 hours of the class, you will come to this power view section where you can each and every chart I will navigate and explain what are these 45 charts are there. Every chart will be discussing. But for today's class, just how to create a visual, a very simple basic understanding I want to give you so that you need to know why this section will be helpful. This section we call it as report canvas. This is data section. Now you can see this here we have the data here. This after one step left, there is option called as filters. Okay, filters. So this is the area where you can apply the filters on your visuals. So if I select suppose I am selecting this visual. Okay, what are the different segment wise sales are there? So my requirement is there are different segments are there, right? So if I want to just uh, increase this size, I want to see what are the different visuals type of segments are there. What are different types of segments are there? You can able to see the government. You have this government, small business, enterprise, mid market, right? This I'm selecting this visual. So you can apply the filters on visuals, right? So in this segment, the type of filters will be enabled here. If you open here, now I want to see only out of this, I want to see only the government one. So you need to click on this government. See, only that data related to the government will be visible to you. Now I want to see government plus channel partner. You can click on this and you can see. So this is called as filters on the visual. That means when a visual is there, if you want to apply some filters to the visuals, you can click on this. By using this filters, you can filter your data which is there in your visual. So this is data section. This is where you store where the data will be there. Visualization sector where you can find the visuals. So this is area where this is the area is very important where to the visuals you will drag the data. Okay, this is section we call it as fields section. Field section is nothing but the data which is present here. That data you will be dragging over here. So in the field section, based upon this drag and drop options, your visuals will be populating. Okay, that is called as field section. This is called as filter section. Okay. Now if you want to see the three section, okay. Now if you want to clear the filters, you are apply the clear filters, right? Don't go and manually. unfilter like this, there is an option called as clear filter. When you click on clear filters, all filters will be clear. See, there is an option, right? Clear filter. So filters are clear. Okay, you have seen the interface. What is data section? What is visualization section? What is the field section? What is the filter section? And what is the report canvas? This is the center report canvas. So this highlighted one, we call it as report view. When you select this, right, this interface will be open. This is called as report view. Okay. Below the report view, there is an option called as table view. We have seen, right? If you want to see this data, it will in the data section will show tables and columns only. If you want to click on this table view, it actually show what type of the data is present. That is called as table view. And this this next one with below the table view, there is an option called model view. What is meant by model view? The tables which are loaded into your Power BI desktop, all the tables will be appear over here. That is called as model view. Okay. So as of now, we have loaded only one table, right? Where this table is coming from? It is coming from Microsoft load sample data. This is the sample data which is there inside in the Power BI desktop. From that, as a practice purpose, Microsoft is given to us so that we have connected the data. Now, if you load any other tables, those tables also you can see over here in this model view section. And what is the important of this model view? After completing the Power Query, we'll discuss about 15 to 20 hours on this data modeling only. The reason being, if you load the any tables, all the tables will be represented over here. Okay. So let us see. I will explain you. If one table is there, only you have able to see one table. Now I will go to, if you want to load the tables and if you go to the most of the times, you will work on report view only this year. Now I will explain you in the class now how to connect to the data sources. Okay. Suppose my data source is connected, loaded in some desktop or some downloads it is there. Okay. I have loaded some file. I have stored some file. I want to connect to the data. How you can connect? Suppose I want to connect to Excel sheet. In order to connect, I want to the data which is there in Excel sheet. I want to get the data into Power BI desktop. That is my requirement. How you can connect? There is an option. This is called this option. From here you can connect to the data. It will showing connect the data to multiple sources. If I want to connect to the Excel source, you need to click on Excel workbook. Once you show the Excel workbook, it will show all the options which are there in your Excel, like in the system you can connect. So I will go to the download section. Okay. In the download section, I have stored some file. One file I have stored it. That stored thing that as sample superstore data. Sample superstore data one file Excel file is there. Okay. I want to connect to that. So how you can connect? You need to select that file. Once you select that file, the file will be selected. When you click on open, so that file will be opened here. See, when I click on open, it will take some time. See, this sample superstore data, it is having it has three sheets. One is order sheet, one is people sheet, one is written sheet. These three sheets are there. And I want to see if I select the orders table here, this preview section is empty now. But if you want to load the data, this you need to select this order table. Once you select the order table in the preview section, what is the data which is present in that order table, it will show you. Okay, you can see. And once you select here, right, once you click on the load, that order table will be loaded. Now I want to load all the three sheets: order sheet, people sheet, written sheet, or you may call it as order table, people table, written table. In that section, three sheets are there. The sheets which are there in that Excel will appear as tables over here. Okay. If you want to see, you can see in the downloads how the data is stored. The same way it is stored like this only. Orders table I am connecting. If you want to connect the people table also, you need to select the second people. And if you want to connect to the returns table also, you can select the returns. So this, see, once you select this and the returns, this data which is there inside that, it will be appear over here. Now I want to load this data, which actually, where is this data? This data is during my downloads in my local system, the Excel. Now I want to connect to the data. I want to bring the data into my Power BI desktop. From that, I want to create some visuals. So first I need to load the data into my Power BI desktop. So in order to load that data into Power BI desktop, you need to click on the load. So once you click on the load, see data is loading. Yes. Now how you can confirm your data is loaded? So you need to come to where data section. See in the data section, you can see orders table, people's table, returns table. These three tables we have loaded, right? And if you want to see what columns are there, you need to expand this in this orders table. These are the columns are there. And if you unexpand, you need to click in the people's table. These are the columns. In the returns table, these are the. Now, if you want to see what type of the data which is present in the orders table, just you need to click go to the table view. Okay, go to the table view. You want to see the data in the order table, right? So you need to expand the table. Click any on one of the column. Click any one of the column. Example, you will go to the table, order table. In the order table country, right? This country is United States. Suppose category. See, the category is added. So this is the order table and you can see the data. This is first when you connect to the data, when some data is given by the client, your first duty is after loading the data, you need to analyze. So if I directly open this, no one can understand what is the data. But if I spend 1 minute and I explain the things, then you can come to a conclusion, right? Says this data is related to something. Okay. See, if you directly connect, you will not understand the data. Now let us go column by column. Just we can read the column, and by reading the column, you can say yes, this data is related to some orders. See, row ID is there, that means row ID. Order ID, that means customer has placed some order. For every order, it is generating some order ID. Okay, that is our understanding. Order date. So customer has an order some product, for that order date is created. Ship date. So customer has ordered the product, and when the product is shipped after ordering, those date it is giving. Ship mode, how they are shipping the mode, by whether standard class or first class or second class, the ship mode they have given. Customer ID, so every customer will order the product. For every customer, a ID is created. That is called as customer ID. So customer name column. That means if the customer ordered that product, the name of the customer is captured. That is called customer name. Segment. So the customer is adding whether he's purchasing for corporate, it is come under the consumer or corporate or home office. So which segment it is falling. That is. So from which country is ordering the product, from which city he is ordering the product, which state is ordering the product, what is the postal code from the area, the postal code information. In the United States, which is operating from which region, west or east or north or south. If they order the product ID, every product will have some ID. That is called product ID information is there. Category. So the product comes under office purpose, office supply, or whether it is for furniture product, whether it is some technology product, that means category information is there. In office supply, there are many subcategories. Whether it's suppose office supply, whether it is chair or it is paper storage, those subcategory information. And if they order the product, what is the name of the product? So each product, like what is the sales? Like every product is added quantity how many times? Some products you add for 2 3 products, 4 products. Some products you will add that quantity it is given. How much discount you are giving on that product, how much profit you are getting. So when you go and spend some time on each and every column, then you will try to get the idea whether this data, by looking at each column, you can get a rough idea, right? Yes, this is related to some sales data, like online website, some customer had ordered the product, it is given information about which customer, from where it is related to US state. Some people is ordering the product. For every product, it is generating some product ID. It is fetching customer name. Customer ID is there. Which type of segment they are ordering. When the product is ordered, what is the order ID, what is the order date, ship date, those type of information is there. Suppose if you connect to some bank data, it will show credit card holder, what is the account open, account close date, whether it is a business account, whether it is a saving account, or whether it is those type of information will be there. Which region it is there, what is IFSC code, those type of information will be there. From that you can say this is related to the banking. Okay, like that you need to first understand. So this is called as this how we have connected to the data. Now see, we have loaded the table, right? We have to loaded the tables, right? So when you go to the model view, for every table you will create, see subtype of tables will be coming over here. So people table you have loaded, returns table you have loaded, financial table you will be loaded. So this area we call it as model view. Okay. Now, when I go to this, this is model view. This is the dark studio, which is will coming in the future classes. Now it is not required. This while discussing about the power pivot, I will explain. This is model view. This is table view we have seen. This is the report view we have seen. This is the home section. Okay, in the home section, get data and this how to see after publishing the report, after creating the report, you can create the publish. This is the last stage of Power BI service. I am not touching this because this will studied at the end of the class after 15 or 20 classes. This is home button. This is a okay. I am cancel it. This is the insert button. This will be come. We'll see in the coming classes. Okay, but as of now, we have seen what is the interface. And now in the down, there is one section called as page section. Suppose this is a page one. Suppose you have built out some 20 or 30 visuals. And this is the only place that you will not build the
Janardhan,
reports.
sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you. Please don't mind. So
Mm.
also, it's right now you're showing some sheets, some pie charts and donut chart, right? So
Yeah.
is there any kind of different kind of sheets are also there? So just want to check on that.
Which sheets? I didn't get you.
Right now you're showing the pie net chart and donut chart in an office purpose. So are there any kind of specific sheets which the client will be looking into it?
Yeah. See, selecting the charts will depends upon the client requirement. Okay.
Or it's
For our
purely based on
understand
the requirement only?
requirement. Okay. I am selecting the pie chart because you can make it pie chart or bar chart. It is not you will decide. Okay.
Mhm.
First, the client wants to because what type of information you want and which type you want based on the requirement. You will have one business required document. Okay. When you go to work on bigger organizations like Deloitte or Ernst and EY and Capgemini, there will be once you join in any project, there will be one document will be coming to you. That document we call it as business required document. In that they will show what type of the charts they want, what type of the visuals, and even this color coding also they will mention what type of the here if you select here what type of the color code slicer if I go here, what type of the color coding they want, they will show you, they will give this color coding code also to you. They are very specific for color coding. What type of
Okay.
the legends color they want, what type of the heading they want, what is the size of this headers, what is the size of the legend, and what is the background color we are selecting, right? You need to go and follow the background color of EY. They will have for specific format. For Deloitte they want a specific format. So it purely depends upon the client requirement. Okay, the visuals we are selecting. Suppose if I select they want to year wise data trend, in that case you will select, usually you will select the line chart year on year how the sales are growing. Okay, so if they don't mention anything, if in the business requirement you will try to create this chart and you will ask to the client whether this chart is
Mm.
okay for you, whether I want to, you want it in the graphical pie chart, whether you want in the donut chart, whether you want in the bar chart, and whether you want to it in this clustered bar chart. We take the suggestion from them. Okay, it is not we will decide. If in some startup companies they will don't have some such type of sophisticated business required document, but mid-size organization to large size documents, everything is based on the client requirement and how many visuals you need to incorporate in the report view. Okay, and what is the spacing here, I'm using random space, right? In between this space what type of the width they are expecting, and from starting what is their logo and what is the distance between these starting and this visual, and distance between these, everything is mentioned in the business required document and we will follow that protocol. Okay, and it is not that the problem with the Power BI is whatever you take the data, whatever you take the visuals, you will get the values.
Mm.
Okay, but choosing the right visual which will be easy for the client to interpret this result. Suppose now I will provide sometimes if a data segment is only few segments, suppose there are think there are 40 or 50 segments. If you represent in the pie chart, this pie chart looks very clumsy. Okay, suppose I will say product wise sales I will take. So see, I will represent the same chart. I will take one pie chart over here. Sorry for taking some extra time, but you need to know this. Suppose I am going to some orders table. I want product name. I will take product wise sales. So I select the product name. Okay, some products are there, and I will try to select the sales. See, there are some thousands of the product. If I represent it this in the form of this, so it is not the correct representation, right? So because we have many categories, more than 10 categories, or then in that condition, we should not represent in the pie chart. That I will explain you which chart which will follow if the client is not mentioned, but when you go to the power view, for which chart you need to select the which visual, that I will explain you. When you have a few categories, we'll go for pie chart. See,
Sure.
this donut chart, when you select, when you want only two categories, male and female. So this a donut chart is there. Male are 50%, female are 40%. If you want to only two categories, better we will go as a standard rule, we'll select this donut chart. So like that chart, for every chart, there is some logic. So while explaining in the power view, I will explain you for which chart you need to follow which logic. And
Sure.
color coding everything, it is based on the client requirement you follow. Okay.
Yes.
So this is the general interface I have
Thank you.
given. So from the tomorrow class. So what we have studied in the today's class, first we have studied how to load the Power BI desktop through Microsoft Store, how to load the Power BI desktop from Google. What is the difference if you load from Power BI desktop and Google? What is the difference? Okay. Then we have, after loading the Power BI desktop, we have loaded how to connect to the sample data, and we have seen what is data section, what is visualization pane, what is fields pane, what are the filter section, and what is this report view, what is report canvas. See, this is page one. If you want to create the go to the page two, you can click on this. You can create the multiple pages. Page two, we can will. So for one report, there may be 4 to 5 or 10 pages depending upon the requirement, the intensity of the project. Like you are working on some big projects, you may have work on 20 or 30 pages as well. Or if a simple project, it will be coming, it will 4 to 5 pages. In that case, if you work on some project, you have 10 pages. In the first page, you will provide summary view. In the next page, you will provide the detail view. Okay, that is called as, this is page view. And this is called as report view. This is the table view. This is data modeling view. And how to connect to the data in the Excel we have seen. In the coming classes, how to connect to the SQL Server by giving the credential, that we will be discussing in the next class. Okay, we can see how we can connect to the web browser also. You can connect to the Dataverse, the tables. We can do it in the next class. So any doubts? Is it clear for everyone? Is it clear? Okay, and whatever I
Everything is
do,
good. Yes.
I will share the recording to you. So if anybody, some people have joined something in the middle, not a
Fact, it's
problem. I
me
will
only. CN is Janardhan. CN is me only. I tried from the system.
stop. Okay, okay,
Yeah.
not a
Yeah.
okay, not a problem. So I will share the recordings to you, and so that you can, if you have any doubts, you can let me know on the next class. Okay, I will stop the recording.
Sure.
Okay, thank you everyone for joining.